We're going to look at processes now, which are the score in action, I guess. Processes is what we use to actually create data or process data or play media and things like that. So the processes are all referenced under the little process tab right here. You can see there's various audio processes, automation, there are controls. GFX is for video shaders and video manipulation. There is also a tab for improvisation. So we use the Factor Oracle to do sort of a software improvisation. I'm not going to get into that right now, but this is an option that we've tested before, and it's a pretty fun tool. Then you have mappings. So mappings that enables you to transfer incoming data into other type of data to fit your needs. We have various MIDI processes for musical applications, monitoring that will enable some kind of a visualization of the data flow. Scripts, if the available processes aren't enough for you, if you want something very specific, you can also script your own boxes. So you can use either JavaScript or C++ to create your own box with your own process, with your own behavior, if you want, your own way of cooking the data the way you like. Okay. And then finally, we have structure. And in structure, we see that we have scenario as well. So as I mentioned, the scenario is just another process. So we'll see a nested scenario in a bit. So I'm just going to go and get some media, so I can either drag and drop it from I don't know, potentially my music folder here. I could just get this one, for example, and then I can just drag it here, and it'll just put the audio file here. So now I can change the starting point and I can play it. Can you hear that?
Yes. It's so loud.
Oh, it's very loud. Okay, sorry. So that's a good time to actually show another process. So that would be a time-based process. I'm not going to use another process to attenuate the volume of this one. So I can see now in my processes here that I have a gain process. I can just drag it and drop it on the same interval. And now it's created this little patch right here with a little gain control, right? And so what I want to do now that I have my process and I have my gain control, I just want to make sure that the sound coming out of this process goes into the gain. And for this, we have little slots here that are little dots. It's either a plain dot for an output or an empty slot for an input. And you can just just click and drag to create a cable. So then you can make sure that the sound goes from the process here into the little gain process, and I can put it down now. And we should be able to hear the attenuation. Is this better?
Yeah, right.
Okay, thank you. Is everyone okay with this?
Yeah? We are already playing.
Oh, okay. Great. Yeah, I can't wait to hear your great composition. I'm sure.
Give us 2 seconds.
Yeah, sure. Okay. I want some rights on this, though.
Yes, sure. Yeah.
So, okay. So now we start to have something interesting. So something to note is that if I have an output and I can click on it, right? And I can see it once I select it, that there's something that is going to be shown in the inspector right here. So it shows that I have no output, which is just a way to say that it doesn't output directly. It's just going through a cable, right? If I didn't have the cable, so I can suppress the cable, and now I see that it's using this little method called propagate. So a good thing to note is that the scenario that I'm in right now also have an output. You can see that it has an audio output, and this by default is the way to the main output of our program. So what happens in Score is that you have different outputs here. I have an output out of here. I actually redirect it to the input of the gain, and then the gain right here, it just propagates. So what that means is that it's sending the sound that it should output, is just sending it to whatever is higher on the hierarchy. So this little gain thing, like everything I've just created, is inside the main scenario. So it's actually outputting his output from the output of the scenario. Sorry, I've said output too many times. I'll explain it again. The sound display here is going through the cable, and then at the end of the gain here, it just propagates. So it just transfer its audio output to the output of the main scenario right here. And the output of the main scenario also propagates to whatever's above him. But since there's no one above him, it'll just send the sound straight to the main output. I can bypass that if I want. I can just take that out, take the propagate out, and now I won't hear anything. Okay, so I've just stopped my output because it's not propagating to the proper output here. So what I do here is I can actually now select my own output. So I'll just output to main myself. So I bypass the main scenario. Now I should have something. Okay, I have something here, but I can also say I'm not even going to go to main. I'm going to go to just the left one. Okay, so now it's outputting just on the left channel because I've selected there on the out just the 0. I can just output on the right in here. This was just a fancy way of showing you, not that fancy actually, but just a way of showing you how the routing is done when you use propagate. It just propagates the sound to whatever is enclosing the process. So this process is enclosed inside a scenario. So whenever sound comes out of this process, it goes out the main output of the scenario.